Hi, thanks for joining me. Today we're going through a 45-minute reformer workout. You'll need your stability ball. You may want to also have a magic circle. Now, that's not necessarily a piece of equipment we'll use to work out with, but we will actually be using it to keep the ball stable. There will be a segment where we're sitting on the ball on the floor and doing some posting on and off of the ball. Now, if you are scared that that ball might move out from underneath you, the magic circle is a great tool. You'll put it on the floor. I'll show you here on the carriage, and then you'll set the ball on the circle. And that way, when you're posting up and off the ball, it will have less of a tendency to roll out from underneath you. I'm going to set that ring to the side, and I'm not going to use that because I feel stable with the ball, but that is definitely a prop that you can use if you're feeling a little bit uneasy with the ball. I want you to have your foot bar down. I would like for you to have one red spring, one blue. For me, I'm on a balanced body machine. That is a heavy spring is my red. My blue spring is my medium. So a heavy and a medium. And then we're going to lay down with that ball. Okay, once you are laying down onto your back, make sure you're a little bit away from the shoulder blocks. You want to have a little bit of room here for moving. Your feet are planted firmly on the gray surface of the machine. You've got that ball right on your belly. Just start to settle into the machine. Let your shoulders relax. Find your tailbone nice and heavy. Feel your ribs dropping down into the carriage. We're going to take those hands right onto that ball. Big inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, you're going to start to nod your chin and roll the ball up one vertebrae at a time, right up to the top of those knees. Look right towards your belly, relax your shoulders, and try to stay neutral. And then roll yourself right back down, bringing the ball back to rest on your belly. Let's do that again. Big exhale as you nod the chin, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, roll that ball right to the tip of the knees, and then roll the ball all the way back down. Let's do that several more times, rolling the ball up right to the tip of the knees, and then rolling yourself right back down. Two more here. Exhale as you roll it up, straight up those knees, and inhale, roll it down. Let's go one more straight up the middle, and then we're going to start to add some obliques. And then walk that ball down. Now, only the right arm is going to press the ball, and we're going to reach it towards the left. So I'm going to go it all the way up. I'm going to reach to that left knee and roll it up, and then I'm going to roll it back down. Now, just your right arm is pushing the ball, so your left hand can be to your side if you'd like, or if you'd like that left hand behind the head, it can give you a little bit of support. So I'm rolling up. The right arm is pressing the ball on the left knee, and then I'm rolling right back down. Good. Do that two more times, rolling up the left knee all the way to the tippy top of the knee, and then coming down. On your next one, I want you to keep it up there and do a little round of pulsing. Go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Think of right rib dropping over to your left hip. Good. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Roll the ball right back to your belly. Take your left hand on the ball. Right hand can go on the mat or behind your head. Let's roll the ball up the left leg to the tippy top of that knee, and then roll it right back down. Again, coming to that diagonal press, going across the body, and coming right back down. And going across, and right back down. Nice. Big exhale to lift you up, and nice inhale to bring you down. Last 3 here, rolling up to the tippy top and back down. And last 2. And do 1 more. This time we'll take it up and hold it and do those little rounds of pulses for 8, 7, little diagonal press, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Lift your legs off of the gray surface. Put the ball on your knees and put the other side of the ball on your forearms. We're going to be pushing into the ball with our knees and with our forearms. Take an inhale. You're neutral in your pelvis. Your tailbone's heavy. As you exhale, do that little imprint. Push your knees into the ball. Push your arms into the ball. Draw your shoulders back and down to the carriage. Feel that engagement. And then release it all. Do that again. Big squeeze into the ball. Little imprint. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. And release. Let's do that again. You're pushing your shoulders down your back. Think of your lats right at the armpits. You're dropping those armpits down to your waist. You're squeezing your knees in, you're pulling your abdominals in, you're drawing your ribs towards your hips, and then you're releasing back to neutral. Now hold it in this time and do a little round of pulse. Squeeze the ball, release the ball. Squeeze the ball, release the ball. If you want to build up some heat in your body, here it is. That's a good way to do it. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. We've got it. 4 and 3 and 2. One more. Nice job. All right, let's take the ball. Keep it right where it is. We're going to squeeze with both hands this time, but only the left knee. So you're going to squeeze, take the right leg, reach it long, squeeze the ball, bring the right knee back to the ball. Squeeze the ball with the right leg in both arms, reach the left leg long, and bring it back in. Just that little diagonal. You're going to feel more in the obliques now, which are those diagonal muscles. You've got 2 pairs of obliques, internal and external. One of them kind of run diagonal into your front pants pockets, and the other run diagonal into your back pants pockets. So all those ab muscles are really designed to crisscross around and keep our core nice and safe. They're stability muscles. Good. One more right and one more left. And our deepest layer of muscle are our transverse abdominals, and those are your internal weight belt muscles. And one more left. Good. Now let's go ahead and release. Nice job. All right, we're going to take the ball and place it between the ankles, and your legs are going to be nice and long to the ceiling. So I'm just going to give that ball a nice big squeeze. I'm going to take my elbows down out to my sides. I'm going to push onto the pegs and pull them apart. So pull your pegs apart, roll your shoulders down, connect yourself into the carriage, give that ball a big squeeze. If you need to bend your knees, you can certainly do that. I'm going to take my legs over to the right, and as I do that, I'm going to keep my left shoulder down, and then I'm going to pull it right back to the center. Now take your legs over to the left, try to keep your right shoulder down, and then pull it back to the center. When you go to the right, your left hip is going to automatically lift, and then you're going to root that hip down to come back. And then when you go to the left, your right hip will automatically lift, and you're going to root that hip down to come back. So if you go too far, it's a good stretch, which is nice. But if you kind of isolate it, it's a lot of core work. And we're going to one side. You're just letting the opposite hip lift, and then you're dragging that hip back to the carriage, lifting the left hip when you go to the right, and then dragging that hip back to the carriage, lifting your right hip when you go to the left, and then dragging that hip back to the carriage. One more each side. I'm squeezing the ball. My legs are on fire. How are you doing? Okay? We're just getting warmed up, right? One more to the left, and then drop that hip down and pull the legs in and grab your ball. Okay, let's roll up and out of there. We are going to come right back down, but we're going to do some footwork. Remember, you have one heavy red, one medium blue. Because I'm on the little taller side and I need a little more room, I'm actually putting my foot bar to my lowest, not the flat, but to the lowest high position, so that it's up. It's going to support my ball, but I'm going to have enough room for my body to be on the carriage. So you might have to make an adjustment based on your height, so that you can get on the ball with your feet and still have room for your carriage, for your body. So I'm going to go all the way down. That ball is just going to rest up against my foot bar. I'm going to push my feet about hips distance apart into the ball, and I'm pushing right down into the ball, making sure it's nice and stable. The foot bar is going to hold it for me. And ready, we're going to start pushing all the way out and right back in. I'm going to push all the way out and right back in. Now, the reason we have a lot lighter weight is because this is a very unstable surface, and when it's an unstable surface, you're not going to be able to push as much weight. So typically, we'd push 3 heavy springs on our footwork, and when we're working with something like the ball, we definitely need to decrease that. So I've halved it, and we're now, instead of 3 heavies, we're 1 heavy, 1 medium, which is half, pretty much half of the weight. 1.5 versus 3. Good. Whatever breath feels comfortable for you. Sometimes I find when things are challenging like this, I'm using my exhale to go out, and that's not traditionally how I do it, but It is a great modification when things are challenging to exhale on the exertion, and that exhale is helping me to stay stable here through my legs. Good. Now I want you to go one more time out and then come halfway in and hold it. You're going to do little baby pulses, out an inch and in an inch, out an inch and in an inch. Good. Do that 3 more times, and 2 and 1. Go all the way out one more time to finish it, and come right back in. Slide your heels together, slide your knees wide. You're in a little V position. Same full range of motion all the way out and back in. Push all the way out and back in. If 1.5 springs, or 1 red, 1 blue, is not feeling like it's working for you, you can definitely make a change. And if you need a little bit less, that's fine. If you feel you can do a little more, that's okay as well. Every reformer is going to be a little different, so you might be able to hold the ball in a different space, which may change the amount of work you need and the amount of weight you need. Good. We'll do 3 and 2. 1 more. Little round of pulses, come halfway in, 1 inch out and in, and 1 inch out and in. Good. I'm really super squeezing those heels together, trying to put as much energy in my legs as I can, as much focus. One of those key principles of Pilates is concentration. So we're concentrating on the area we're trying to work. Last 2, and 1 more. Good. Let's go all the way out to finish it, and then come right back in. Now, the third thing we'll do in this position is a bridge. I'm going to bring my feet back to parallel, sits bones distance apart. Make sure your headrest is down whenever you lift your hips. If it's not down, go ahead and put it down, and then we'll start rolling the hips up. 1 vertebrae at a time. You're going to roll those hips up, and here goes the legs. They're going to start moving underneath me, which is fine. I've got to find my stability, and then I'm going to roll my spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. And if this is the first time you've done this, don't be alarmed if the ball's moving all over the place. It's going to take a lot of repetitions of doing it for your core to kind of understand what's happening. And if you've done it several times, you might have that thing called muscle memory, where your muscles remember, hey, they've been here before. So it's not as much of a challenge for your proprioception or challenge for your muscles as much. Still a good workout. Good. Nice. Let's just do a few more of those, rolling up and down the back. Now, the closer the feet are together, the more challenge. I'm sticking with my feet hips distance apart, but as you get more comfortable here, you might take the option of your feet completely together, which will completely change the work. Now, the next time you're up, I want you to stay there at the top of your bridge and do 1 inch pulses with your bottom up an inch and down an inch. Up an inch and down an inch. You're reaching through those arms long. You're pressing firmly into the carriage with your arms. Good. 3 and 2 and 1. Nice. Let's roll it all the way down. I'm going to pick up that ball with my legs, and then I'm going to bring that ball right in between my knees. My legs are in a tabletop, but again, this is a very wide tabletop with the ball. So I'm going to kind of be squeezing my legs into the ball. I want my knees right in line with my hips. That's going to help me stay neutral. Knees a little closer is an easier position. That would be your imprint position. If you need to be there, you can. As you get stronger, your knees are going to go away and be more in line with your hips. Make sure you are just a smidge away from your shoulder blocks so that you're not going to bang into those shoulder blocks. Reach back and grab your straps and bring your arms to the ceiling. Give that ball a big squeeze. Take an inhale to prepare. Drop your tail if it's lifted in your neutral spine here. We're going to exhale, pull those arms all the way to the mat and hold. I want you to squeeze that ball with intensity and then release the ball, bring the arms to the ceiling. And then again, pull the arms down, give that ball a squeeze, and then bring the arms up. Your headrest should still be down. I apologize that I didn't say to keep it down, but if you should keep it down here, because we're going to be adding something instead of this squeeze. We'll be doing a reverse curl, and you definitely want to have your tailbone, your head down when your tailbone lifts. Good, I'm doing that little press of the arms and squeezing the ball. So head rest should be down all the way. Now we're going to add that tailbone lift. So your arms are going to go down. You're going to squeeze the ball, do a little reverse curl, set the hips down, and bring the arms up to the ceiling. My arms go down, connect to the mat. I do that little reverse curl, set my tailbone down, and reach my arms up. That reverse curl is not an easy thing. It's a challenge. So if you are having a little struggle with that, do the squeeze. You can hold the squeeze. That's going to help incorporate the muscles you're going to need to build to be able to lift the hips. I'm pulling the arms down, little squeeze, hips down, arms back up. 2 more. And last one. Good work. All right, your arms are going to go to the ceiling. I'm going to set my feet. Actually, I'm going to try to do it without my bar. My bar's way down there. I'm going to take the ball between my feet now so that my feet are holding the ball. My legs are straight up to the ceiling. My arms are straight up to the ceiling. If you need to, you can bend your knees. I'm going to take my arms out to the letter T, pull them all the way down to the hips, bring them all the way up to the ceiling. Just get your arms first, and then we will add the legs to the mix. Your arms are doing a circle out to the T, down to your hips, up to the ceiling. Out to the T, down to the hips, back to the ceiling. Let's add the legs. Go out to the T. When you go to the hips, you're going to lower your legs. The ceiling, you're going to lift the legs. You go out to the T, lower the legs when the arms, lift the legs when the arms come up. Let's add the head if you choose. Sometimes that just helps you counterbalance a little bit. So the arms go to a T. You lift the head when the legs and arms go away from you. You lower the head when the legs and arms come towards you. Arms to a T. If this is too much, again, you have the option of bending the legs and staying in tabletop, doing your traditional circles without this crazy ball and legs straight. One more in this direction. And then we're going to reverse. Now take the arms to the ceiling. You're going to pull the arms down to your hips. Keep the ball to the ceiling, legs nice and straight. Arms out to the letter T, arms to the ceiling. So right now we're just squeezing the ball with whatever inner thighs you have left because we've done a lot. And if you would like to add your legs, we're going to do that the next round. When the arms go up, the legs are up. When the arms go to the hips, your legs go with them. And your arms come up. When the arms go to the T, the legs come up. So the arms and legs go away from you. The legs come towards you as you go to T. Legs stay still as the arms come to the ceiling. It's just a little motion of the legs, doesn't have to be big. And then again, we can add the head lift to kind of counterbalance, unless that does not feel comfortable on your neck. Now, as you can see, my movement is not big, and it does not have to be big to be mighty and effective. Last 2. Definitely sweating now. Last 1. Good work. All right, let's set the straps down, bring the ball with you, and we're going to make our way off of the machine. Now this is where if you'd like to use that magic circle, you can grab your magic circle. I'm going to be taking my carriage to my lightest weight possible. For me, that is a yellow spring. That is my light spring. If you'd like to use the ring, you can place it on the floor. You're going to put the ball on the ring. Face the reformer carriage sitting on the ball and pick up that strap that's closest to you. We're going to start with a nice posting position, so you're basically sitting on the ball. You're going to move as close to the tower as you need to. The closer to the tower, the easier. And I want you to interlace the fingers. Now push into your feet and just start to press off the ball and then down onto the ball. Off the ball and down onto the ball. I'm using my calves to kind of squeeze into the ball. That's kind of what I'm using in place of the magic circle. I'm squeezing the ball with my legs, and that's going to help keep it in place. Good. This is much of a leg exercise as it's going to be an arm exercise and a core exercise. Do one more of those. Now the next time you stand, twist to your right and go back down. Twist to your right and back down. Good. Nice job. 2 more. Let's uninterlace the hands, and when you go up the next time, we're going to punch the left arm over the head. Good. So you're going straight up, drive through the hips, take that energy all the way up through the fingers. Nice work. 3 to go. We're going to do one last thing, which is a combination. Start with your twist. You go up and twist, and then up and punch over the head. Do that again. Up and twist, up and punch over the head. Nice work. Up and twist, up and punch over the head. You can hear my breathing, hopefully. Hopefully you're breathing. These full body movements get your heart rate up and really work. One more. You've got it. Good work. All right, let's sit back down. I want you to turn to face your tower. You're going to be sitting on that ball. Your right hand is your inside hand. It has the strap. Low elbow row. Turn the palm up to the ceiling when you row, down to the floor when you release. Now this is what we did in my hour-plus long workout, and you can definitely stay here, especially if you're a little winded, you need to rest. I'm going to pick it up a little bit and do a variation standing. If you'd like to come with me, you can, or you can stay right where you are. So for the standing variation, I'm going to have my right foot, my inside foot is going to be on the ball. My outside foot is in front. And I'm just going to start with a little squat back and forward, or a lunge actually, back and forward. Now you might need to choke up on your strap since you're a little closer to the tower. But you're going to do that same row that we just did, but now we're standing, so we're going to incorporate a lot more balance, a lot more focus, and you're going to incorporate a lot more leg. Good. Nice. Last two. And one more. Good. So both of those variations are great to work with. Obviously, the second one's quite a bit more challenge. Before we do the other side, let's come up on top. I am going to put the ball on top of the machine. It is very stable because it will be pushing against my shoulder blocks. Go to one medium spring. For me, that's a blue spring. Now I'm going to grab my straps so that I have them, and then I'm going to make my way onto the ball. So I'm like to hold onto the carriage so I'm supported. I'm going to come right onto the ball. This is where if your ball is very big, might be a little trickier. Little ball's a little easier here to sit on. Now I'm going to be sitting with my feet wide to give myself a big base of support, or my feet narrow to make it harder. You are in charge. I want you to do an offering position. Bring the arms forward in front of you, and then bring them right back towards you. As the arms go forward in front of you, focus on your abdominals drawing in for support. Those arms press forward, you take a big exhale, and your corset draws in. Now when I say corset, those are your deepest muscles that are called your transverse abdominals, and they run horizontal. They wrap all the way from the spine all the way to the front, and that's exactly what they do. They're a corset. They're your internal weight belt. So every time you exhale, that corset draws in. That's why the breath is so important in Pilates. Now the next time the arms are forward, you're going to hold it forward, turn the palms down, do a high elbow chest press. Bend, big push and press. And bend, big push and press. Good. You're moving through molasses. Try to move, and you're not moving the carriage with your abs, but think that you are, that every time you breathe out, those abdominals are kind of the first thing that get engaged. You get your abdominals kicked in first, and then you move. Last two. One more. Bring the arms down by your side. Turn your palms to face the foot bar. Make sure your hands are in front of you. You don't want them way back behind you. You want to be able to see those fingers. Big exhale, kick your abs on first, and then go up and over the head with your arms. You might want to just think about starting your exhale like a millisecond, just right before you start to move. So your abdominals are firing, they're engaged, and then you move your arms. Nice. Let's do 3 more like that. Remember, your feet can be closer together if you want things harder. Now arms are going to go to the ceiling. We're going to pause it and do a bend and stretch tricep. Sit really tall, almost like you're trying to lift up and off the ball, but you're not going to. You're still seated firmly, but it's like you're lifting and becoming light. Nice. 3 to go. And 2. And 1. Good. Let's take those arms down, and very carefully you can step off. So I always like to hold something a little stabler and then come off because the carriage is quite light. Take it to the yellow. That should be your light spring, the lightest spring you have on your machine. And let's go ahead and sit the ball on the side. If you've got the magic circle and you want to use it, this would be a good time. Put the strap farthest away from you and let's sit facing our machine. The closer you are to the tower, the easier. The closer you are to the foot bar, the harder. Let's interlace our fingers, sitting nice and tall, and we'll start with that posting up and back down. Again, I'm going to be kind of holding the ball with my calves to help keep it in place. You can see it's kind of moving around, but I'm just going to be conscious of where it is. Good. 3 to go. And then add your twists. So you're going to go twist to the left. Nice. 3 more twists to the left. And then we'll get ready with that right arm punch. Next time I want you to punch the right arm over the head. Go up and over the head. Up and over the head. Strong breath. One more. Now let's rotate again and combo. 1 twist, 1 punch. 1 twist, 1 punch. Good. You've got it. Feel that heart rate coming up. 3 to go. And 2. Keep those squats big. 1 more. And done. Good work. Okay. Let's come and face the tower. Again, you can scoot back, making this a little more challenging. My inside hand has the strap. Palm faces down. Rotate the palm up and do a row. This is great to stay here. I wish I could stay here today, but I got to show you what we're doing, the standing variation. You can stay right here. Do your seated. Remember, feet together. I almost fell off the ball. Feet together is harder for sure. And then if you want even harder, you're going to stand up, put the ball under your right foot, choke up on that strap. You can start with your single leg lunge first, and then when you feel comfortable with the lunge, you can add your row. Whenever we decrease our base of support, which means we lift a limb, you're going to be pulling less weight because it's going to be harder. And that's fine. You shouldn't be able to pull the same amount of weight with one leg lifted as you do with both feet grounded. Good. Let's just do a few more, kind of evening out those sides. And then we'll come all the way up. Good work. Okay, let's take the ball, place it back on the machine. This time we're going to lay on our belly on the ball and change it back to the blue. The blue, remember, is my medium spring for me. So you're on a medium spring. You're going to come all the way onto the ball on your belly, and your knees are going to be on the carriage. I'm just going to drape myself over the ball, and I'm going to lean forward and grab the tape and take the straps off the pegs. Now I'm just going to cross my ankles and kind of ground into the ball, let my whole body just drape over the ball. Take an inhale here, and then when you're ready, you're going to exhale, lift into a little extension, and press the knuckles to the back of the room. Hold it. 3, 2, lift even higher. That's the fun thing about the ball. And then come all the way down, because with the ball, we can go a little higher. Now, if you feel like your knees are slipping, you might want to put something grippy under your knees, because you definitely want to feel stable here, especially if you're wearing shorts and you're sweaty. You might need to have something to hold on to so you don't slip off. So I'm pushing up. I'm lifting my chest as high as I can. I'm pushing my arms back, and I'm going to bring it all the way back down. Good. Hold 3, 2, 1, and come back down. Let's do that one more time. Now hold it up, bend your elbows, push and press. Bend your elbows, push and press. Even though we're lifted through the chest, we're not tweaking the neck. I'm not going to look way up and put my head in the wrong position. I'm still looking down to where my reformer edge is, kind of to the tip of my nose. So my head is just a natural extension of my spine. You've got this. 2 more to go. Looking really good. 1 more. And then let's release. That was great. Okay, put your straps away. Let's load on enough spring weight that the carriage doesn't move. For me, I'm going to put on a heavy spring in addition to my blue. So I'm on 1 heavy red and 1 medium blue. I'm going to go back over my ball. And this time I'm going to keep my knees a little bent, but my feet are up against the wood. My hands are going to be on the ball. So I'm not going to really be pushing the carriage at all. I'm going to be working on a little extension. So I want you to lift your chest and do a little back extension, and then lower. This is your very first option, keeping the hands down. We're not pushing into the hands because I don't want you to over push and try to get into this huge back bend that maybe your back's not ready to go into. We're just using the hands for support. If you do not need the hands for support, take them behind your ears, and then you'll be lifting up and going back down. Now, everybody's back is a little different. You do not have to be going super duper high to be effective. The third variation of this you can do with your hands down. You can also do with your hands behind your ears. You're going to come up and do a little rotation to the right, and then you'll come down. You'll come up and do a little rotation to the left and down. So with the hands down, it's just a little twist and looking over your shoulder. With the hands up, you're just twisting and looking at that armpit. And then your final variation is you can add the arm extension. So you twist, you extend the arm and reach, you come back. That arm extension, think of it as a pull. That arm is pulling you back. But again, you're not going so high that you feel any discomfort. I'm definitely pushing my pubic bone into the ball. And if you do not feel stable here, add more weight. You can have all the springs on if you need it. 1 more right. And 1 more left. Good work. Now let's relax for a second because we've got some planks coming up. I'm going to bring the carriage all the way home. My ball is still connected to my shoulder blocks. The higher weight I have, the more stable, which means my carriage is not going to move. So you might want to start with a lot. I'm going to still stay with 1 red heavy and 1 blue medium. My elbows are going to go to the very top of the ball. I'm not going to move my carriage, but I'm going to push into my elbows, push into my feet, and just lift my knees straight up. Good. Now the carriage is weighted enough that it's not going to go out from under me. And I'm going to find this straight line from the crown of the head to my tailbone, and find my table. So I've got a nice table here. I'm going to hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. I'm going to take off my blue spring and see what happens when I'm just on 1 heavy red. Should be a little bit more challenging. All right, if that was enough, you don't need to take your weight down. Take a big inhale, push your elbows into the ball. Here we go, let's lift those knees. Now you can see my carriage is moving a little underneath me. Means I've got a little less stability. The less stable the carriage is, the more my core has to work. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, last one. I'm going to actually take it to my blue spring only. I've got my blue on, and I'm taking my red off. So I have 1 blue. I will move the carriage at this weight. If you don't want to move the carriage, stay at the heavier weight. It is definitely a challenge. Push your elbows into the ball. Try to lift straight up with your knees. Don't move the carriage yet. And then when you're ready, you can push the carriage all the way out and then come right back to the knees and all the way out. Don't set the knees down, sorry. You're coming back to a hover. You can set them down if you need to, but we're trying to go out and in. And I didn't plan this, but my foot bar is in a good position that I can actually push into my heels, and that's going to ground me a little more. It's going to actually give me a little assistance. So it's making it easier. Still not easy. Last 3. And last 2. 1 more. Good. And then I'm going to sit down and relax. Nice job. Okay, from here I'm going to come out of there, and I'm going to have you lay on the ball kind of sideways. So we're going to stay on that blue medium spring. So I'm on my blue medium spring. I'm going to come to my left hip connected towards the ball, and I'm going to drape myself over the ball, bringing my left hand to the headrest and lifting my right leg nice and long out to straight parallel to the floor. I'm going to take the strap in my top hand and bring it right over my head. Now, I would recommend looking down. You can also look forward. Looking up might be a little too tweaky. This is a variation of our semi-4, which is a tricep exercise with a nice lateral flexion. I'm going to push my right arm up to the ceiling and bend it. If this weight is too aggressive, take it down to your light yellow. Good. Make sure your left elbow is not locking. You're just gently pushing into that ball. You're working that right leg, keeping it lifted. Nice work. We're just going to do 3 and 2. 1 more. Bend the arm and hold it bent. Look towards your right foot and do little circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, final 1, and done. Put your strap away. Push your hips kind of back, and you can just kind of press back into a little child's pose and drop that right hip out to the right for a little stretch on that side, because we have the other side to do. So we're going to turn all the way around. I do need to move my mic on this side, so I'm just going to take that off. I want you to put your right hip up against the ball. You're going to find your whole body square to the side. Your right hand is on the headrest. Your left hand is going to grab for the strap. Now I'm going to take my left leg and lift it up and parallel to the floor. So I'm supported here on the ball. My left arm is going to drape over my ear. I'm going to look down. Now my palm is facing up. I'm not sure if I mentioned that on the other side, but the palm will be facing up here. I'm going to push the arm straight and then bend it. Now the palm actually can be facing down. That's a second variation of the exercise. It's just the variation I did on the other side was palm up, so I want to stay consistent on this side. Again, I can look forward, I can look down, just try not to look up. Keep that left leg lifted. It should be right at the horizon. Keep your shoulders down your back. Use that ball for support. You've got 2 more to go. 1 more here. And then we're done with the arms. Put the strap away. Keep that leg lifted. You can look towards the leg. You're going to lift up and do those little circles. Now I held the strap on the other side. I was ready to get rid of the strap. You can definitely hold the strap to be consistent. 2, 1, switch directions. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down. And then again, you can pop that hip out to the side, kind of push back into a little child's pose and give that hip a little rest. All right, we are ready to lay down and put our feet in the straps, which means I want you to go to 1 heavy red spring and 1 medium blue spring. I'm just going to keep my foot bar in the same position. We don't really need it. Unless you do need it to get into the position, then you can put your foot bar up. I want you to go ahead and lay down. Bring your ball with you. You're going to need that. That's the master of ceremonies for right now. It's like the main event, the ball. We're going to take 1 foot into the strap, and then we're going to take the other foot into the strap. You might need a friend to help you get the ball to you, and then the ball is going to go between your feet. Push your legs long, find that neutral position. Keep your headrest down if you're okay with it, because in a minute we will be lifting our head. So not lifting the head, but lifting the hips. I want you to start with straight legs lifting up, and then straight legs pressing down. Good. Straight legs lifting up, and straight legs pressing down. Now you can certainly stay here with a lift and lower. I'm going to add on to this a more advanced variation. My legs are going to come up, and once my legs come up, I'm going to make a footprint and lift my hips straight up. I'm going to lower my hips straight down and lower my legs. So you might want to take the option of just lowering and lifting the legs, or you might add your hip lift at the top, lifting the hips, and then lowering the legs. Either variation, depending on how you feel today. You know, every day's a little different. Got to do what feels good for you today. So I'm lifting the legs, maybe lifting the hips. Good. Just one more of those. And then the next time your legs are down, we're all going to bend our knees, and then we're all going to push our legs away. Bend your knees in and push your legs away. Now what's happening with the ball here? You want to think about squeezing the ball every time you push away. Three more to go. And 2. And 1. Take the legs straight up to the ceiling for our grand finale. I'm going to take my ball, take my hands up, let go with my feet, catch the ball, throw the ball, squeeze it with your legs and catch it. Catch the ball with your hands and your feet. Your hands and your feet. So you're just switching the ball from hands to feet. Squeeze, squeeze. Really squeeze into that ball with your legs. Keep your tailbone heavy. If you need to have your legs a little farther away from you towards the foot bar, you can. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Release the ball, set it to the side, take your legs wide, and come into an inner thigh stretch. Much needed after all that inner thigh work. You can even kind of rock side to side, whatever feels comfortable for you. Letting your inner thighs release. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together into a little butterfly stretch. Today, it feels comfortable for me to bring my heels down. Sometimes I like to have my heels down on the carriage for more of a supine or lying down position with my heels connected to the carriage. And sometimes it feels better with my legs up, and then I'm going to pull the straps and give my back a stretch. So either one is fine. Just kind of see what feels good for you today. The feet are together up and you're pulling the straps, or the feet are together and connected to the carriage. Just take a few deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the feet out of the straps, put the straps back onto the pegs, and bring the carriage home. You can give your knees a little hug and just rock side to side, giving your back a little release. And then we'll make our way up and out of there. So we'll come all the way up and off the machine. Let's come on top of the machine, and I will put my foot bar up to my normal foot bar position. And I'm going to have my feet up against the shoulder blocks. I was on one heavy red and one medium blue. I want you to take the blue off, so you're left with one heavy. So one, whatever your color heavy is, you're on there. Your right foot is going to go up against the wood. Your left foot is going up against the shoulder block, and you're going to start pushing all the way out into this lunge stretch. Now, hopefully by this point, a lot of you are watching this on my new website, and I would love to get your feedback of things that you like, things that you would like to improve, and then straighten your right leg into a hamstring stretch. Because definitely want to make sure that I'm meeting you guys' needs and you're able to watch the videos. The whole reason that I wanted to move to my own site is just the ability to create the filters so that you could easily search through workouts and then come all the way in. and switch. I don't like how YouTube doesn't allow me to take the ads out of the free videos, so I know the members always had ads in the videos that were free, but I like in the new website where all of the videos are there, whether they're free or members on YouTube. Every video is on my website, and you can search it by filters, and that was one thing that I really wanted, so I'm hoping that is something that you guys wanted as well. And then I want you to straighten your left leg, and if you haven't tried the new website out, then send me an email, let me know about it if you've got questions. I'm definitely here. I will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, let's come all the way in, and we are done. Thank you so much for working out with me today. I'll see you soon.